Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In continuation to my previous video on introduction to predictive models, today we are starting with a very basic predictive model, that's simple linear regression. So when I say linear regression, we come to a linear equation, that's a line equation. You all have done this since your childhood. What is the equation of a line? The equation of a line is y is equal to mx plus c, wherein m is nothing but the slope of the line that's defined by change in y divided by change in x, and c is nothing but the y-intercept. So that's nothing but a linear equation. Okay. Now we come to the definition of regression. So when I say regression, regression is basically used to determine the relationship between the output variable y and the input variable x. So when I say the output variable y, that is what we are predicting. And when I say the input variable x, that means that is what we know. So on the basis of x, we are trying to predict the value of y. So y in other terminologies, we also call it as the output variable or the dependent variable, response variable, predicted variable. And x, we also call it as independent variable, explanatory variable, or the predictor variable. So the focus of simple linear regression model is basically to forecast and predict the value of y on the basis of x. Some examples of linear regression models are when the y output is the time needed to fill a soft drink vending machine. So I am trying to predict the time needed to fill a soft drink vending machine when I know the number of cases needed to fill the machine. So this is x and this is y. Next is we are trying to predict the strength of a wrapping paper when I know that what is the percent of hardwood in the pulp batch. So this is x and this is y. The third example is what is the maintenance cost of tractors when I know the age of tractors. And one last example is what is the repair time for a computer when I know the number of components which have to be changed. So these are nothing but some very basic examples of linear regression model. Now we come to very important topic in linear regression, that's nothing but we call it as scatter plot. You all know a bit about this. So what's a scatter plot? When I have a raw data in terms of x, in terms of y, I plot it on a 2D graph. That is nothing but what is called as a scatter plot. So to my x, I have got the inputs, that is 1, 2, 4, 3, 5. To my vertical axis, I have got y, that's 1, 3, 3, 2, 5. So I'm going to plot for every value of x, what is the value of y? So that's nothing but a simple scatter plot. Now the question arises, why am I telling you about scatter plot? Because our linear regression will start with scatter plot only. So when I say linear regression, we find a linear relationship between the independent variable x and the dependent variable y. So when I say we are finding the linear relation between x and y, we first prepare a scatter plot for it to verify whether the data has got a linear relation or not. That means once I have a tabular data set for x and y, I put it on a graph. And the moment I put it on a graph, by clearly having a glance at the graph, I can say that whether a linear trend exists in the graph or not. So we have picked up three different scenarios here. In the first scenario, when I plot a scatter plot, I got to see that we could have a linear trend in the graph. In the second scatter plot, we see that I cannot have a linear trend in the graph. In the third scatter plot, we see that there is no relationship amongst the data points itself. So scatter plot plays a major role whenever we are doing a linear regression model. So, some examples of scatter plot. So, a scatter plot is basically used to show the relationship between the two variables x and y. So, to my left are the strong relationships, to my right are the weak relationships. So, when I draw a graph x versus y and my data points are closely packed to each other within a narrow span, then I say that I have got a strong relationship among x and y. And also I could see a linear trend here. Okay. Another example of strong relationship is out here also the data values are closely packed. I have got a linear trend, but it's a negative trend, but it is a linear trend. So a linear trend could be positive, a linear trend could be negative. When I come on the other side of the table, that's weak relationships, what can I see here is the values, the data points are not closely packed, they are dispersed, and the span is a wide span. It has got no linear trend. Okay, so this is the relationship, a weak relationship that is being shown out here. So I hope students you are understanding what is the role of scatter plot in finding out whether there exists a linear trend in the data points or not. Now we come to how do you identify, how do you find out the linear regression equation. We come to a very basic diagram that you have always drawn, that is y is equal to mx plus c. Now we try to portray that value y is equal to mx plus c in terms of linear regression equation. So this is x, that is the predictor variable. This is y, that is the response variable. Okay, the blue circles are nothing but the data points that we have plotted. So we have drawn the scatter plot here. Okay, now once we are done with the scatter plot, what are we seeing here? We have drawn a line that's in green. Okay, now please understand this. My equation is y is equal to beta 0 plus beta 1 x. Now forget about this part as of now. So my equation is y is equal to beta 0 plus beta 1 x. That means I am writing this equation y is equal to mx plus c. We are just changing the notations for linear regression here. What is beta 1? Beta 1 is nothing but the slope of the line, that is dy by dx. What is beta 0? Beta 0 is nothing but the y-intercept, that is c, that is what we have learned in mathematics. Okay, so this is nothing but the first part of the equation. What are we adding this to? We are adding this to a variable that's nothing but residual. So what is residual basically? Please do understand this very clearly. This is my data point. That is nothing but the value of y. Okay. Now at this particular point x, I have got the value y as something like this. But then my line goes through here. That means the value y that I am going to get on the basis of my equation is here. Okay, so the difference between the actual y and the predicted value of y is called as residual. I repeat, the difference between the actual y and the predicted value of y is called as residual. I hope we are clear with the linear regression equation. So what is linear regression equation? Y is equal to mx plus c plus a term that is nothing but the residual term. And the residual term is the difference between the actual value of y and the predicted value of y. So we move ahead on how to calculate the values of the coefficients beta 0 and beta 1 for the linear regression model. So beta 1 is nothing but the slope of the line, right? And how do we calculate slope of the line? It is change in y upon change in x. Now when I say linear regression model, how do we identify the slope of the line is taking the mean of x and mean of y into consideration. So all the x values mean and all the y values mean. So we are taking every data point and finding out the difference of the data point from the mean value of x. Similarly, For every y, we are calculating the difference between y value and the mean value of it, divide by change in x. So this is how we identify the slope of the line. Okay, and how do I calculate the intercept then? The intercept is nothing but your mean y minus whatever you're getting as your slope multiplied by your x mean. So the mean values play a very major role when I take linear regression model into consideration. Now, the thinking challenge is, how would you draw a line through the data points? That means if I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 data points in my scatter plot, I see that there is a linear trend amongst the data points. But then how do I plot it? So that's the basic crux. One predicted line shows I cover these 2 points. Another predicted line shows I cover these 2 points. The third predicted line shows I cover these 3 points. That means I understood one thing out of linear regression, and that is we need not cover all the data points. We cover the maximum data points. Okay. And the second thing is I have to find out the line that crosses the maximum number of points. Okay. So how do I do it? So what are the steps in linear regression is? The first step is we perform a scatter plot of sample points to identify whether a linear relationship exists or not. We identify the best fit line. Now try to understand what is best fit line. A best fit line is a line that covers the maximum points and also the error, the residual is the minimum in that case. And how do we do that? This is a very good example that we have shown here, how to identify the best fit. When I say best fit, this is nothing but the actual value. This is nothing but the predicted value. So what is my residual here? It is y1 minus y1 cap. Similarly, I calculate for I2. Similarly, I calculate for R3. And then I do sum of squared errors. Why am I doing sum of squared errors? So that I don't get negative errors, I get only positive errors. So that's why I'm doing square. So when I say it is minimum sum of squared errors, I consider that line as the best fit line. I repeat, when my sum of squared errors is minimum, I consider that line as the best fit line. We move on to an example of simple linear regression. Now, this is an example of the number of components that I could repair for a computer and the repair time predicted. Okay, so if number of components are 4, the repair time predicted is 64. And on the basis, we have got a data set here. So how are we going to do it? Now, this is nothing but the scatter plot. That's my step number 1. I show that there exists a linear trend in the data points. Now, when the moment I calculate beta 0 and beta 1 for this on the basis of x bar and y bar, that's nothing but the mean value. And we try to find the best fit line using what? Using minimum sum of squared errors. So we calculate the minimum sum of squared errors out here so that we get the best fit line. So the basic crux of linear regression model is you have to get the best fit line using minimum squared errors. In our next session, we are going to solve numericals on linear regression using the equations that we have learned now. If you like the video, please subscribe to my channel on YouTube, Home Learners. You could also like my Facebook page, Easy Home Learners, and my Instagram page. Stay updated, stay healthy. Thank you.